With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Off we go from Las Vegas. Taken from about the 12.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. The first carry for the Hall of Famer. Here's Marshall Faulk. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Running right, here's Dillon. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now a handoff to Dillon. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. That 4th down decision, unconventional but effective, and they indeed come up now with a first and 10, a fresh set of downs. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 36. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but from both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll try the left side with Dillon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. He'll check it off to Falk, complete. Touchdown! Marshall Falk, 36 yards. And the Packers are on the board first here in Vegas. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go now.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. 1st down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, Dillon. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's the big man Dillon with it. Shoves him away. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. going to try and throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So not only do they convert on fourth, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. That was a pretty good job by the defense, I thought, right? I mean, they had to go to their check down, but still were able to get it done for the first.
Agreed. Anytime you can force them to come back to a receiver that's a little bit shorter in the route, you've done your job on defense, but still, they pick up the first down and get a fresh set.
Huge fourth down conversion. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw, Vick. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. On the handoff, this is Dillon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
In motion goes the tight end. On 4th down, Cunningham. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So the 3-time Pro Bowler Javon Curse with a tackle there.
And you get selected for that game because you're a consistently dominant performer. And that's what he is. We always think about him being a pass rusher, but he can play the run as well, a guy that you just have to game plan for every week.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go now.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Vick. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Ready, check, check, Bobcat, check, 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Ready.
Now Vick on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Dillon. And he goes out right around the 39. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Rodgers now on 1st down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. In motion right, that's Harrison. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
He is going to find Hill here. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. That's caught by the Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 26. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Rodgers again now. Got a man. It's Harrison complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
52-yard attempt.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Taken from about the 12.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. But that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It was JPP that time, Jason Pierre-Paul, who got in there to blow that play up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man is Hill. He's got it. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something, because we're into the third quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figured out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Play action now. Vick. He'll check this down, complete to Dillon. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Now Cunningham. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Second half, close game, and we're certainly seeing some exciting plays, but it's really been the defensives. That's now back-to-back drives that have ended with interceptions.
Yeah, the guys on the other side of the ball, as they like to say, the defenders, they've been the difference makers for their teams. And when they've taken their game up to this kind of a level, I want to see what happens with these offenses. Can they match them as this game goes on? Or will the defenders continue to have full control of this one?
Oh, it's 2nd down, another run for Dillon. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run once more with Dillon. And some space here. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A.J. Dillon, 69 yards. And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken from about the 12. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now Cunningham. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like the loser.